and I know that I'm important and I'm worth it, and I don't need a man to let me feel any less of what I know I am now. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, hello, my name is Morgan. I make videos about life with my daughter and the journey that I have had through my pregnancy, which is very short-lived on this channel, but that's okay. And now life with my almost 6-month-old daughter, Paisley. Wow, you can just tell I half-assed get ready for this because you can still see my pajamas, no socks on. Paisley's still in her jammies. We're just living our best life. Always, my little guest is here with me because she cannot sit in her bouncer and listen to me talk without freaking out because mommy is not holding her. So she will be here joining us. See, by today's title for this video, I'm going to be talking about my experience, kind of my advice for young single moms that are trying to date or trying to put themselves out there for dating. I'm going to be talking about my experience on it, how it failed, and all of that good stuff. So if you are wanting to listen to my advice, my tips, my tricks, and the possible outcomes of it not working out, then stick around into this video. All right, let's get into it. Paisley is almost 6 months old in 2 weeks. 2.5 weeks. She'll be 6 months old. So on January 11th, say I'll be 6 months old. She doesn't care about me right now. Paisley was 2.5 months when I tried putting my foot out the door again, of thinking, okay, you know what? It's been a really long time. I kind of kept to myself during my pregnancy with Paisley as well. I did have some guys that were interested in me, but being pregnant, that's your last priority. That's the last thing you want to try to deal with, is seeing somebody. Distracted down there. So at least for me, my priority wasn't dating while being pregnant. After having Paisley, still wasn't a priority. It wasn't something that was catching my attention of just needing to do. It wasn't on this like high list of things that needed to get done or that I wanted to do. It was kind of pretty low down there, but it was always still in the back of my mind of, I miss having somebody, I miss texting somebody all day, I miss getting butterflies and getting like that like giddy feeling of talking to somebody new. I don't know. Some people literally like their own space and their own company and don't need somebody, which is perfectly fine. And then there's people like me that just enjoy having somebody or genuinely like being in a relationship. And so that's just how I am as a person. Paisley being born, it wasn't a priority, but it was always something in the back of my brain that like I always thought about, like, what if? And I was never opposed to trying to date again after Paisley was born, because I knew that her father and I, there was no chance of getting back together. It was not a thing. So I did what any typical person in 2019 would do if they're trying to look for somebody and they're not willing to really go out of their home. I went to Tinder, and Facebook had a dating app as well that they installed in Facebook, which is really weird, but it works just like Tinder, same concept. And so my profile back up. Sorry if you see me playing with this. I'm just shaking it because Paisley is distracted by it down here. But I did what I did. I put my profile back up on Tinder and created my profile on Facebook. And nobody was catching my attention. It was just kind of here and there. I would like peek at it just to see like who I matched with. Well, I'm not gonna name names in this video, but I had matched with somebody that I prior knew, like in the past, we had mutual friends or whatever, and I took interest in him very quickly. I really liked the same things, like his personality was really goofy and funny, and like I was just like, okay, like I could see this possibly maybe being a thing. He showed more interest in me in the beginning as well, which gave me like this false picture. Like his intentions weren't what I thought they were, if that makes sense. I'm sure you guys understand what I'm trying to get at. Misleading is not the way to go. It's not the move at all. We ended up hanging out a handful of times, and this is where I'm going to get into where this became difficult for me and also put me in this position where I thought, hey, maybe dating right now is just not what I should be trying to do. Would have to find a babysitter. Obviously, I'm not taking Paisley out with me. I would have to find a babysitter, and then I would have to be home like a curfew at like this time because Paisley nurses to sleep. I have her on a routine. She's not really going to take a bottle and go to bed taking the bottle. She's going to be very fussy, which she had been, and we had learned that in the past. So with this routine being I needed to be home, I needed to nurse her to sleep. She needs me here. I created a little monster, but it's fine because like I don't mind it, but just for this particular situation in dating, it made it a little difficult. Here's my other hand. Made it a little difficult because it was like, okay, we're gonna go out to the bar and get a drink. I get to your house by 9 o'clock. Well, I need to be home by midnight, 1 o'clock, somewhere around there. And it made me feel like I was 15 all over again, just like having a curfew and needing to be home at like set time. And it started to get a little frustrating for me, but ultimately it was my decision and it was my choice saying, hey, I need to go home. I have responsibilities. I have this little person I have to feed and put to sleep. So at the end of the day, that was my choice, but that's what I was comfortable with. That's what I felt like was the best and right thing to do for not only my peace of mind, but for the sake of my daughter. It wasn't staying out all night long and just giving her to my mom or my sister, somebody I'm comfortable with and I trust with all my heart, but still in the back of my mind. And at the end of the day, I was just like, I have to go home to her. Like, this is my responsibility. I have to go home to her. I don't feel right not going home to Paisley. So with that being said, look at her little hairs. So with that being said, that made it extremely difficult knowing that I had only X amount of time to spend with this person. And at first it was fine, and he seemed to be somewhat like okay with it. He was pretty chill about it, didn't show any like concerns or him being annoyed or irritated or anything until a couple other times after seeing one another and having to leave at X time. I could tell he gradually was getting annoyed with it because he would want me to stay out longer or he'd want me to stay the night or whatever, which is totally fine, which is totally okay, and that's normal, but it's just not my normal anymore, you know? My normal is not this free-for-all go out and go home whenever you want or do whatever and doesn't matter what time you have to be home. Like, that's not my normal anymore. That's not my reality. And I'm sure there are guys out there that can work around this and that will accept it for what it is and not give me a hard time or make me feel bad about it, because it got to a point with him that it turned into, but why can't you stay out later? Why can't you have somebody watch her all night long? Well, you could go home at 6 in the morning, etc., etc. Stuff like that, kind of like jumping down my throat of, well, this is, you're choosing to do this, so like that's your fault, and it's your fault that we're not spending time together. Whereas I'm okay now being an adult and also having a child. I don't need to see you every single day. I don't need to see you every other day. If we are casually dating or seeing one another, I don't need to see you every day. We're not 16, 17 years old anymore. Like, that's just how I feel in the situation. That's just how I feel now growing up, is that it's healthy if I see you 2 to 3 times a week. I don't need to see you 5 to 6 times a week. 2 times a week is fine at that. I don't mind. So he kind of just gave me a hard time for not giving more time, which my attention, besides it being on Paisley, I did try my hardest to the best of my ability of what I am capable of doing while trying to casually see somebody or date or show my interest into somebody. And it kind of just, it didn't backfire and it didn't like stumble and crash and burn, but it kind of just got to this point where I was like, okay, well, one, you're not being very accepting of it, and I don't want to be with somebody that can't accept it, because it's not like she's going away. Oh, tired baby. Sorry, honey. It's not like she's going away. She is here forever, and And I'm perfectly fine with that. That's okay. I need somebody that's accepting of it. And that is okay with me having priorities and having to put my daughter first, because that's what's the most important thing to me in my life, is her safety, her well-being, me being there and being present and being around as a parent. I'm just not going to toss my daughter off to whoever and say, I'll be home whenever. Sorry, that's not my parenting skills, that's not my parenting style, it's just not how I want to go about things. So it made it a little messy. But then I also just stood back and realized, like, okay, you might not be the person that I should be seeing anyways, you know. And then it made me sit there and realize, like, maybe you're just too immature as well to, if you can't see the bigger picture on why I'm not coming over or why I'm not seeing you as often, then that's obviously a red flag right there. It was just hard at first. I was a little sad when we mutually just kind of ended it. We didn't like say anything like, oh, like, sorry, it's not working out. It just kind of like communication stopped. And that was that. And I knew it wasn't progressing any further, and he as well. And so we just left it at that. And it made me sit back and realize, like, okay, you know, I don't need to be trying to see somebody right now. It kind of reminded me of the reason of why I wasn't trying to in the first place, or trying to make it an active thing in my life. Is just, I'm not in the position right now sitting here talking to you guys and like thinking about it. I'm just in no position mentally and emotionally, physically as well. I'm tired all the time. I'm exhausted to be there for somebody else when the person I need to be there for is sitting on my lap right here. This is my priority. Well, I just know now, going into it, I'm not opposed to dating. I'm not against it. I'm not saying like it'll never happen, but just at the moment right now, she's hungry. She's looking for my boobie. All right, baby. In my videos, I'm always ending up breastfeeding at some given point. Here, I'm gonna scooch up. I was going to go into this video having more like advice, but I don't really have any advice into dating. It's more of just like an insight of my experience and just what I couldn't do, because advice-wise, I would say have somebody first and foremost that is comfortable, that knows what they are going into head on, so that they don't start gaslighting you or make you feel like you're not worth it or your time is being put in the wrong places. Don't let them make you feel like prioritizing your child is wrong, period. Let them make you feel like they should come first. You need somebody that knows what they're getting into, is accepting and willing to work around your schedule, your time, to the best of their ability and your ability. And also, you just have to find a happy medium where you can balance out, I'm sure, working, if you out there do work, have your child, and dating. You just need to find like that balance. Whereas I was trying my best, but I think I was trying my best with the wrong person that wasn't very apt to adapting to change or working around what I had going on. So that's my own fault. But you just need to find somebody that is just really accepting, because at the end of the day, you're dating to potentially be with this somebody for a while, forever, X amount of time. I'm not entirely sure. So you have to be with somebody that accepts you and also your child, or children, because y'all are a package deal. And if they can't accept that, then they can go elsewhere and find somebody else, because why would you deal with that? I don't need anybody holding me back or wanting to hold me back. Yeah. I feel like I've grown a lot after having Paisley and after her father kind of breaking my heart, sort of, and then my previous ex before my daughter's father totally just, oh my god, just destroying my self-confidence, destroying my self-love and everything about myself. Like, it was just really hard to be cheated on constantly and then to just brush it off. Oh, I was in rough shape for a really long time. Just let me put it that way. For the last like year and a half, I definitely have gone through some self-loathing and doubt and feeling so bad about myself. And now, after having Paisley, I feel like I have a sense of self-worth and self-love, and I feel important, and I know that I'm important and I'm worth it, and I don't need a man to let me feel any less of what I know I am now, if that makes sense. So I'm rambling now, and I think I'm gonna wrap up this video because I'm gonna go feed Paisley and go cuddle her. If you did make it through this video, and if you always make it through my videos and you are still here watching, thank you very much. I love you and I appreciate it, and I always appreciate all the support and kind comments that I get. It means a lot to me. It really does. If you are still here and you have not already, please hit the subscribe button down below. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. I'm trying. We're at like a snail pace right now, but we're getting there. We're like 43% away from like 1K. Sounds far. It is, but it'll be okay. We'll get there when we get there. Always give this video a big thumbs up, like, subscribe, comment, do whatever with it. You know what to do. And I'll see you guys real soon. Bye.